Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And as you can see by our fancy bow ties that definitely match our outfits, we are doing our responses or predictions to the Dice Tower Award nominations.
Yes, it's award season.
It is award season indeed. And yeah, we'll just be kind of going through each category, giving our prediction of which one we want to win, or which one we think will win, and then maybe we'll say which one we want to win, if we have an opinion on that.
If we've even played.
Right. There are definitely some we have not played.
Yep.
And also, some of those that we have not played probably don't, at least me, I don't know much about some of the options. So we'll do our best in predicting.
Yes.
But we do not know. We have not played all these games. So definitely let us know in the comments below if you think we are totally wrong on some of these. And if we need to be looking into some of these, because obviously if they were nominated, they are probably pretty solid games, I guess. So let us know what you think.
Sure. So I guess let's start off with the first category. I don't know what order they'll be announced, but I just tried to put them in kind of a decent order here. Most innovative game. Ooh. And the nominees are Merchant's Cove, Mind MGMT Management, whatever, however you want to say it, So Clover, Picture Perfect, and Sleeping Gods.
Yes, so actually, we have not played all of these, but I think I know of all of them.
Yes.
We played a couple of them.
We played Picture Perfect, Sleeping Gods, and we own So Clover.
Yep, just have not had the chance to play it yet, but it definitely looks interesting.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say, personally, I think all of these are pretty innovative.
Yeah.
From what I know of Merchants, Cove, Mind Management, and So Clover anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think these are some good options, but I think for my pick on what I think will win, I'm going to go with Mind MGMT. So it's a little bit surprising, because you'll notice probably a trend as we go through these, and that is that Sleeping Gods was nominated for quite a few of these.
Yes.
But yeah, you hadn't actually had the chance to play Sleeping Gods yet.
I have not played Sleeping Gods.
I played one game of it, so still not.
Doesn't
know everything
sound very innovative.
But yeah, I don't know that it
sounds
like innovative.
It's storytelling. I don't know, kind of like Forgotten Waters without the app type of thing.
Right.
That's what I picture it in my head. So I don't think it's very innovative. Plus, it's like the third in the line of games as well from him. So I don't.
I think it's actually its own.
Oh, standalone, but.
I'm
guessing it carries some things over to where
it's a similar feel world, but I think it is a new world, because I think the other, the Now or Never, up and down. What are the ones called? Now I totally forget what they're called.
Above and Below,
Near and Far.
I just remember.
Those are
I
in the
just
trilogy.
noticed that we have Now or Never and Dinosaur Island here on display with those box fans on the fronts of them. So that is very nice to look at.
That is very nice to look at.
But yeah, I also have Mind Management as my pick to win. Well, I feel that I would choose Picture Perfect of the bunch, because it's the only one I played, but I feel like that one is pretty unique, where Mind Management is kind of a hidden movement game, and I hear it's very innovative, but I just have a hard time believing that there is that much to do with that genre. But maybe once I play it, if I ever play it, I could discover that to be true. But I've heard a lot of hype, so I think it will take the win.
Yeah, I think I would be between those two as well for my personal pick. Picture Perfect. I don't know if I would just say that might be similar to Clue. Yeah. But there are some things that are definitely different than Clue. I think they change a couple things, and then you're actually scoring for it. So yeah, I really think that one is innovative as well. It definitely feels different than all of them, and it makes sense at the end of the game when you take the picture. It does feel like you are lining these people up to take a family portrait or whatever they're taking a picture for.
So like, this guy wants to be next to her, but he doesn't want to be next to any women.
Right.
It can be funny, just kind of trying to think of these characters in the family.
Right. Yeah, making up what their backstories are, what they think about things. But then I think I'll just go over to best welcoming game. So these are kind of, I think, the games that you kind of would maybe introduce someone to the hobby with or something like that. And the nominations, oh my gosh, it fell off. The nominations for that are Seven Wonders Architects, Cascadia, and Canvas, Picture Perfect, and Super Mega Lucky Box.
Well, like we said, I played Seven Wonders Architects, Canvas, Picture Perfect. We own Super Mega Lucky Box.
And I'm shocked we don't own or have not played Cascadia.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype around that one. I don't know how welcoming it is. I wish we had played it, then I could kind of tell. But right now, I'm going to give this to Seven Wonders Architects. I've played it a few times on BGA. You played it, I think, once on there. And it's my second favorite game in the Seven Wonders trilogy.
Right after the Bruno Catala duel.
I really liked it, and I think it is very, very approachable. And people talk about Seven Wonders being a welcoming game. And a lot of people have started to say, no, it's not really that much of a gateway game. This one is. It really is, I think. So I would choose it, and I think it's going to win.
Okay. Yeah, this is where we differ a little bit. I am going to pick Cascadia just because there is a lot of talk about it, and it does sound like it is a little bit lighter. But yeah, like you said, I would like to play it because I don't know if there's a little bit more or a little bit too much to it. But yeah, I think my personal choice, though, could be... Any of those would be good, solid choices. I might pick Canvas, though, because I think that is an interesting... I'm kind of surprised that was not in Most Innovative, because it is... I mean, there's some that have used like a sleeving thing, but
card crafting games,
it's interesting. And I think a lot of people, if they got introduced to something like that, could be like, oh, I want to learn more about some of these board games. I think that hook of a thing that you've got going on there, and then although it might be a little bit too thinky.
Yeah, I think so, and that's kind of what I thought Cascadia might be as well. But I haven't played it. I feel like that's the one that I would most need to play to know how welcoming it is of this bunch.
Yep, but yeah,
sadly, we will see. On to best game from a small publisher, and the nominees are The Initiative, Canvas, Mind Management, Oath, and Stardew Valley.
I will say 3 of these I know very, very little about. And that'd be The Initiative, Oath, and Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
I think I've probably heard the most about Oath, and to me it sounds like it's very divisive.
Oh, yes.
There are people that I've heard that really like it, and then there's some that really do not like the game at all. And I think part of it might be because it's the same, it's Leader Games who made Root, so I'm guessing there might have been a lot of people that really loved Root maybe, and I thought, I'm going to try this one out, and it probably didn't feel the same. Because, I thought it looked, I was looking at it when it was on Kickstarter, GameFund, whatever it was on, and I was just like, and I was looking into it a little bit more, I'm like, it doesn't seem like this would be quite like that. It seems more of like a story type driven game, almost. The point of being maybe too much, and I thought it might be another one that would play better with more players, which is one of the reasons I feel like we do have Root, but we don't get it played. So didn't really look at it past that. And then the Stardew Valley and the Initiative, I really don't know much about at all.
It felt like I heard a little bit of hype for Stardew Valley a ways back, and I thought that would be one that you would kind of gravitate towards. I don't know why, it's just a feel that I got.
I don't know what it is.
I'm not sure why. I don't know, is that based on like a video game or something?
I think it is. It has that type of look to it, and that's probably why I didn't look into it as much. Because maybe it isn't, but it feels like it is. And that's kind of what I was like, I have no attachment to this really. And I thought then maybe it was more of like a, I don't know. Sometimes those are a little bit too light when they're based on those types of things, because you're trying to get the audience from that video game or whatever to come in. Sometimes that can not translate as
That's
well
true.
over
That's
into the
true.
board game, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
But I did end up picking Canvas for my prediction. That would win this one, but that's just because, like I said, I don't even know really half of these.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably, from the little I do know, I'd maybe pick Mind Management personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know too much about these games.
Yeah, I ended up going Mind Management as well, or not as well, but
For your actual prediction?
For my prediction. For my personal choice, I have only played Canvas, so I'd probably choose that. But I think Mind Management has a little more momentum going into this. Not that that should sway the votes, but
Right.
I think that hype can definitely help a game.
'Cause, yeah, I was kind of actually surprised to even see Canvas on here.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that one's been out for a while, so I am not entirely sure on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little surprised by Canvas being on any of these. But yeah. So then we get to our next category, which is new designer. And I don't remember if that's, did Tom say that's like someone that's designed less than 3 games
less
or
than
something?
3, I think. Yeah.
So, did not write the designers down, but we've got designer of Arc Nova, Paleo, So Clover, Unsettled, and Meadow. And you can see by the Capstone Games hat that you might be able to see who I would predict, and I am going to predict the designer of Arc Nova, who we do have the game. We've only played it once so far.
I have not played it.
But yeah, I think Paleo is one that also seems like it's an older one that probably was this year, or the 2021, but it does seem like it's been a while since that one came out, so I don't know that there's as much hype behind it currently, but I think it was pretty well received. And then played Meadow. I don't know. Arc Nova has just shot up the board game geek ranking so much that I just can't see it not being that.
I mean, last year with the crew, that kind of shot up. Tom Vassell says these are not his awards, but it did shoot up into his top 10 and like swept all the awards.
Mm-hmm.
And Arc Nova is his #1 game. I have to go with Arc Nova here as well. Not that he's going to influence it, but I think that maybe he can be kind of a sign of where things are going to go, possibly with how good a game actually is.
Right.
I personally would probably be most excited about maybe Paleo here. I think Z. Garcia has said a lot of good things about it. Kind of makes me think of Robinson Crusoe, but like not so much.
Not as devastating.
Yeah.
Or not as,
So yeah, I would maybe personally vote for that, even though I haven't played it. I've only played Meadow here. And I've only played that once. Unsettled I've heard a lot about as well, but I don't know if that's as approachable as something like Arc Nova or as normal. It's a little out there, I feel.
And I don't... Granted, Arc Nova wasn't as easily available either, but I don't know that Unsettled... I don't know that's as easy to get.
Yeah.
I think out of all of them, So Clover and Paleo are probably the easiest to get right now, or were for a while. But yeah, I think these all probably have a chance, but yeah.
On to the best reprint, which has Great Western Trail 2nd Edition, Galaxy Trucker, Kemet Blood and Sand, Ticket to Ride Europe 15th Anniversary Edition, and Summoner Wars 2nd Edition. We have none of these. We have the original Ticket to Ride Europe. I have the Galaxy Trucker app. I've kind of looked at component comparison. I know Bonacor really liked Galaxy Trucker 2nd Edition. Was that in his top 10 of the year or something?
It could have been.
I think there was something with reprint that they kind of gave him some...
gave him a hard time
about. I'm kind of torn here. I'm excited about Kemet Blood and Sand, but I think it works better with more players. That's kind of why we haven't gotten it, or why I haven't gotten it. And also the board looks... The original board isn't that great, and this one might be worse. And I'm like, that just is a big deal when you're having a reprint and the board is not pretty. I feel like I mean, and it's kind of Egypt, so it's not going to be the most colorful, but the cover looks really nice, and the board just does not to me. So I think that eliminates that. For me, I think it really comes down to Great Western Trail or Ticket to Ride. Kind of reworking with Great Western Trail, kind of updated look, or Ticket to Ride, kind of a deluxe celebration of a game. And I went with Ticket to Ride, 15th Anniversary, Europe edition. I looked at it, and I'm like, those trains look awesome. So that swayed me. Otherwise, I probably would have went with Great Western Trail.
Interesting, because I didn't really look into these too much, and I don't know too much about them outside of maybe a little bit about Great Western Trail, second edition. Like you said, we did play Ticket to Ride Europe, but so I assume the gameplay is very similar, like you said. But I don't know what. I didn't look at the upgrades. I ended up just going with Kemet, Blood and Sand. I didn't know if it seemed like that one's somewhat of a popular game, but I don't know if that's going to be hard to get into.
Yeah, maybe. And
I think the one I would be most excited for, and you probably know this, because I've wanted to play the
Summoner
original
Wars 2nd edition.
Yes, Great Western Trail is one that I've wanted to play ever since I played Maracaibo and really loved it. Wanted to see kind of if I liked this one as well, since they're both by Alexander Pfister. But that'd be my personal pick. But
that might, I mean, other than Galaxy Trucker, that might be the most approachable, because Ticket to Ride is quite expensive. That 15th anniversary, I just kind of assumed that they would have access to it, the voters. And
that's true.
Like with the library, possibly be able to play it for some of them.
That's true.
But if they do actually have to get their hands, because I know they aren't required to play every game.
Right.
So if they do actually have to be able to personally get their hands on it, I think that's going to make it easier for everything but Ticket to Ride Europe.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I think we will see.
And then we get into Best Artwork.
Yes.
And for this one, we've got Ankh, Gods of Egypt, Bitoku, Sleeping Gods, Canvas, and Meadow. I was surprised. I keep seeing Canvas pop up here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that is that big of a thing.
It's interesting, because that probably has the least artwork, because the cards are see-through.
Right.
So in a way, it's all about art, but in another way, it has the least art of any card game ever.
Right. And I think outside of maybe Ankh, Gods of Egypt, I think I've kind of seen some of the artwork on all of these games. And overall, I think, like the artwork. I guess, do you know for Ankh, Gods of Egypt, what the art looks like? Is it kind of... In my head, I just imagine it being kind of the blah Egyptian...
Yeah, I think it's fitting with the cover, if you've seen the cover.
No? Okay.
I think it looks about like that.
Okay. And I ended up just going with Sleeping Gods, because I think the Ryan Lockett artwork is hard to beat, but it definitely, if you've seen one, a lot of his artwork does seem very similar.
Yep.
So I think that could be the only thing that could possibly hurt it, is that it's very similar artwork. Not saying that makes it bad, because it is definitely amazing artwork. But I think that would be the only thing that could potentially hurt it, is that it's very similar to his other works. I'd probably pick that on a personal choice as well. I do also like the artwork in Meadow, and what I've seen from Bitoku, I really like the look of everything, because it seems like it's got a nice, almost like green, blue type poppy look to it, which I really like. But I could see that being possibly divisive, because it is a very bright looking, a lot of bright looking colors. So if you don't like that, if you like more of a little bit of a dull, not dull, but a little more of a dulled down tones to the colors, then I don't think that would win some of the people over.
Yeah, I went with Sleeping Gods as well. I think it's a powerhouse, and I don't think that the Ryan Lockett factor should come into play when voting, but I think that can just kind of... I think
give
that
a little
can
bit
factor
of
into it and maybe be kind of a tiebreaker, because, like, oh my god, but this is just one man who did this.
Right.
And he also...
The fact that he did all the stuff
he did all this.
It's pretty amazing.
And I think it is... I think it probably is the best looking. Maybe Meadow might beat it out personally, but I think Sleeping Gods is going to take that. That is one of the things that he is known for, just great artwork.
Yeah. Hardest working individual. Maybe they'll make that award for him.
The most interesting man in board games.
There we go.
On to best theming. We have Ark Nova, Final Girl, Sleeping Gods, Horrified American Monsters, and Roll Camera, the filmmaking board game. Which is a board game I was trying to design myself a theme. I thought it would be cool. But they somehow hacked into my brain. Maybe they're playing too much mind management, got in my brain and stole my ideas. But yeah, that's... Having not played any of these, I think this is a balance between a unique theme, a cool theme, and kind of how well it is integrated. And again, I think Lockett is known for kind of integrating the story into the world of the game, and I went with Sleeping Gods here. I've heard only great things about how the world comes to life, and I think that will give it the win here in theming.
Yeah, I ended up going with Ark Nova because I think people like a zoo theme, and that's the main reason I went with it. But kind of I don't know, it's not necessarily a sleeper pick, but kind of the other one that I was thinking was actually Final Girl. As I was saying, because I haven't played it and I haven't looked that much into it, but for not being a solo gamer, this game has kind of piqued my interest a little bit, because a lot of people are saying that they really like it as a solo game, and it's kind of got that theme of the final girl in a horror film. I kind of wonder if, since you've got the Horrified American Monsters, Final Girl, Roll Camera, the filmmaking board game, which are all kind of film related, I don't know. That's why I couldn't go with Final Girl, because I thought those might split that up. So I thought it was kind of down between Ark Nova and Sleeping Gods, and I don't know that there's too many zoo-themed games, so I thought maybe that's why that would... That's true. That was my thinking on it, but I would be interested to see how thematic Final Girl actually felt if I ever was able to play it.
Yeah, that's the one I think Delicio really, really likes that one, and does it play over solo or not?
I think it's just solo.
Okay.
I think.
That is one I was interested in. If I knew you were that interested in it, then I might have pulled the trigger on it.
Oh, jeez. And I think the Horrified game just doesn't interest me personally, so that's probably hurting.
That horror movie themed game does not interest me, but the Final Girl horror movie themed game, I don't know what it does interest me.
It's weird, because I've had no interest in that game, surprisingly. I don't know what it is. But so then we get into two-player game, best two-player game. And we go back to Ankh, Gods of Egypt. And we've got Caper Europe, and Land vs. Sea, or Radlands, and That Time You Killed Me.
A lot of Z Garcia games here, not surprisingly.
Inspiration.
I think he really likes Ankh. He's really been looking forward to this Caper re-implementation, which I don't know why this isn't considered a reprint.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
And I know he really loves Radlands. I don't know what he thinks about the other two. The only one we played is Land vs. Sea.
Yes. I guess I don't even know. Which ones of these are... How many of them are just two-player? Radlands is...
Is Radlands only two-player?
I think it's only two-player.
Caper, I haven't heard anything about that player count.
I think... if I had to guess, I think that Radlands, Caper, and Land vs. Sea are two-player. I think...
Land vs. Sea has
a mode, but I think it's meant to be.
That Time You Killed Me kind of that sounds like a two-player game only to me.
It could be
with the name, but as you can see, we are not prepared for this at all.
Yeah, we have not. We've only played Land vs. Sea, and that was one time.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think any of those are going to win. I think Ankh, Gods of Egypt is going to win. People complain about the merge rule, but they say at two players, there's no merge rule. And it's phenomenal at two players. That's all I've heard about the game. So I'm going with Ankh, Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, I did not pick that one, but that's because, I don't know, I've had very little interest in it. Yeah. Even though I think it has, now that I have heard more people, like you said, say that two-player, it's a lot better. I have been interested in kind of the Rising Sun, Blood Rage type games, but those are both, I think, played at higher player counts, which we don't usually have. So maybe this is where I would step in and try it if it really is that good two-player. But I think the fact that I haven't been as interested in the theme is the one I'm least interested in.
Yeah, that's what sucks. It's probably the one I was least interested in. I was really interested in Blood Rage, Rising Sun. Those need higher player counts.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't interested in. And of course, it's the one that is great at 2 players.
Right. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Radlands.
Yeah, I kind of wrote you down for that. I was like, he's gonna go Radlands.
It's one that I've been kind of looking at, but just I don't know if it's might not be quite what I would want. I just can't tell, so I haven't pulled the trigger on it. But
yeah, I haven't really looked at exactly how that plays. I don't know if it would be that. I guess, do you know how much about how it plays? I just worry that it's maybe not that much, not very interesting.
I think it's one of those games where you're just trying to kind of get rid of your opponents. I think you have like 3 base buildings each opponent, and you're just playing cards and doing stuff to kind of destroy them, and the first one to do that wins, I think. Something like that. So it didn't look like, it's not like, I would never want to play it. Like, if I was given the chance to play it, I'd definitely try it, because I've been interested in it, but hasn't been interesting enough to get me to buy it, because it is pretty nicely priced as well, especially compared to Ankh, Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, I was interested in Radlands, just, I don't know, for some reason kind of died down, I don't know. While Ankh, Gods of Egypt has kind of done the opposite, where I'm like, I guess if we want to get that experience, we're going to have to get this. So now that's kind of on the watch list now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I could see either of those winning. Caper could maybe sneak out there. I don't know a lot about that, but I know Z really, really loves that game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll see. And we kind of talked about a little bit in best theming with Final Girl. We are going on to solo games, the best solo game. Mm-hmm. And nominees are Ark Nova, Hadrian's Wall, Sleeping Gods, Cascadia, and Final Girl.
Yes, and I ended up picking Final Girl because I think it's the only. It is the only one here that I believe is solo only. So I've heard a lot of people that do like solo games like it quite a bit. So I think it should win because of that. But I really like Hadrian's Wall as well, and that is one that I have played solo, even though, like I said earlier, I don't play many solo. I don't know much about we haven't played Cascadia, and I don't know if I'd want to play Sleeping God solo, because I think it's a lot of management then.
Because you always have to have the same amount of characters, right?
Right.
That's one thing that has turned me off of that, and that kind of helped me go with Final Girl as well. I just, one that I have been interested in, and I've heard a lot of great things, like you said, from solo gamers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's our solo. So we'll go right into co-op. Best cooperative
game.
And for those, we've got some that have been mentioned before and a couple new ones. We have Paleo, So Clover, Sleeping Gods, Adventures of Robin Hood, and Unfathomable. And those 2 new ones I don't know too much about.
Yes, the Robin Hood and Unfathomable.
Yes.
Interesting thing about Adventures of Robin Hood, I believe was the one, right?
I think so.
We actually should own. We own So Clover and Sleeping Gods. We actually should own 3 of these games, because I actually won a giveaway of Adventures of Robin Hood, but I did not see the email that I had received until it was like 6 months later. So my bad. Otherwise, we could have a little more information as to what to choose here. But I don't think we need it. I think Sleeping Gods is going to win this one easily.
I agree. I picked Sleeping Gods right away. I think that was one of the first ones I did, just because, as a cooperative, I think that one's going to win. It's nominated like Ark Nova and Canvas for so many of these that I would be surprised if anything else won. That is best cooperative game.
To best production value, which I don't. Tom said last year he changed it to production value, and then they go with Dwellings of Eldervale, which is hundreds of dollars, over Honey Buzz, which base game, not deluxe, is like what, $40, and that adds, I would say,
some of the best production.
A perfect production. Michaela just mentioned it the other day that it's just like one of our best looking games, and You were wrong. I love Dwellings of Eldervale, but you were wrong. Honeybot should have won. Best value. So we'll see what they do this year. The nominees are Seven Wonders Architects, Ankh, Gods of Egypt, Sleeping Gods, Maglev Metro, and Canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe Maglev Metro is not too old.
That one seems old too.
That and Canvas.
Right.
But yeah, we have Maglev, we played Seven Wonders Architects, we have Sleeping Gods, we have Canvas, so we have quite a few of these for a category that we actually don't even need to play the games, just kind of look at the production of it. Canvas is really nice production, but I think it's a little more expensive than, I think it's still like 30, 40 for a pretty small game. Seven Wonders Architects, I don't know the price point on it. I think it's a decent production. Nothing that really stands out. Gods of Egypt is huge, but expensive. Maglev Metro has a lot of interesting parts to it, I feel. While there are some flaws to it, like the bronze and gold meeples, not really being able to tell them apart. The boards are a little warped. I think there's just a few little nitpicks there, and while I may not choose it, I think Sleeping Gods is going to win this one. Even though it is a little more expensive, I think they're just going to be like, oh, Ryan Lockett artwork.
Yeah.
Sleeping Gods must win.
That's an interesting choice because, yeah, I don't doubt that it could win, and it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. But in the actual game, I feel like there's not really that much stuff.
I think it's a lot of cardboard.
Yeah, I mean,
so I wouldn't.
A lot of good stuff, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking at production value, I ended up going with Canvas. But I would probably personally pick Maglev Metro just because it has those cool things in there. But I just don't know if that one will get as much, because that's an older one too. I don't know that it'll get as much love. But yeah, I'm going to go with Canvas. Then we get into my favorite.
Yeah, I was going to say your favorite.
Best strategy game. And for this one, we've got Anno 1800, Ark Nova, Furnace, Maglev Metro, and Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition. And we we own 4 of these. I've played 4 of them. You've played 3.
Yes.
And actually, surprisingly, I've wanted the other one for a long time and have never gotten it, or have not gotten it yet. So there's another Martin Wallace game, I think.
Anno 1800 we do not have. I don't know how you don't have that game yet. Should have gotten it at this point.
Yeah, I think I just know how much you guys are fine playing brass every once and again, but I was just like, this is another really thinky game, and I just don't know how much it'll get played. So I did not get it because it is very much a strategy game, and I don't know that. It seems like it's a lot of probably really good mechanisms in the game, but I don't know if it's.
But it's got that whole board of
very
like
thinky,
60 tiles out there.
Right.
It's a little overwhelming, but there is something about it that it's not dying down. In my head, at least, and I don't think it is in yours, so I think we're going to have to end up getting that one.
Probably.
But yeah, I can't believe Furnace is on this.
I can't believe
Furnace
so
is
either.
That's an approachable game, I would say.
Yes, I really love Furnace, but I don't know that it should be in this category.
No.
I don't know what it should be in, but I feel like it should be in something else too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be the what it was, that one welcoming game. I don't think it would be in that either, so I guess I don't know where I would put it. Yeah, but I wish it was nominated for something else because it is a solid game.
Yeah, but yeah, it's.
I'm going
just
with
not deep enough. Yeah.
Ark Nova. I just think it's got to. A lot of people love Terraforming Mars, but I just don't think that Ares Expedition will get picked either.
Yeah.
Maglev Metro, I feel like, is talked about the least out of all 5 of these.
Yeah.
Cause maybe it could have won if it was like last year, but even then, I don't know that. I don't know that's the most strategy-driven game either.
Yeah.
So I think strategy-wise, from what I know of Anno 1800, it might be right up there. I think that and Ark Nova, the 2 of those are probably the highest up, or meeting that category threshold the best. But
I went with Ark Nova as well here. I think that there's just there's just too much hype for this game. It must be good. I think a lot of people really, really love it. And I'm going to have to play it and see if they are goons. But yeah, got to go with Ark Nova here. And it'll be a nice little prize here if it is not victorious in the final category because of some other game.
You never know.
On to best party game.
Pepper's favorite.
Doodle Dash. Mystic Paths, which I think is in the Mystic Vale universe, possibly. It looks like similar artwork.
I
It
have
has Mystic
no
in
idea.
the title. But
I
it
did
is
not look into
but
these,
it
sorry.
is not John DeClaire. So Clover, Snakes with 3 S's at the end, which is from Phil Walker Harding, and Super Mega Lucky Box, which is also from Phil Walker Harding.
No, I did not know that was from Phil Walker Harding.
He really knows how to make these
Party
party games, welcoming games. There's Sushi Go Party, which I don't know if that won. I assume it had to have won in the year that it came out. That's
It should.
a very popular party game. I went with So Clover. I feel like this one I've heard the most buzz about, and I kind of checked the rankings on BGG, and it's the highest there. It kind of reminds me of a Just One, which I think is one. Again, I don't know if that won.
I'm not sure, but it's an awesome party game.
Yeah, and it feels the most like Just One, like something that's going to possibly last through the years.
Right. I went with Soul Clover as well. We do have Super Mega Lucky Box, and I just don't know if I would call that one quite a party game.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why it's in this category, but yeah, there's just a little bit more. I guess it would be party game, but it's just a little bit above that, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know anything about Doodle Dash or Mystic Paths or even Snakes, really. I've seen the Snakes cover, and I think they've had that cover on the Dice Tower. So I don't know if I don't remember if they gave it a good ranking. They must have if it's nominated for this. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with So Clover, and that's probably what I would go for my favorite party game, hopingly, once we do play it. But yeah. Then we go over to Best Expansion. And we've got Endangered New Species, Parks Nightfall, Arnak Expedition Leaders, Sleeping Gods Tides of Ruin, and Unmatched Battle of Legends, Volume 2.
Which we actually own that one.
We do own that one.
Which is, it's not an expansion. That's a base game in a series of
games. That's why I didn't actually pick it myself. Like, that's personally probably would be my favorite in these.
Yep.
I ended up going with Arnak Expedition Leaders because that did very well last year. Lost Ruins of Arnak. The Sleeping Gods, Tides of Ruin.
There's so much to explore base game. I don't think anyone really needs an expansion for that.
Yeah, that's just it. I don't know much about Endangered New Species. And then Parks. Why do I feel like that has like 3 to 4 or 5 expansions? I feel small expansions, but I don't know if it. Because it's not that big of a game, so I don't know if it
last year for Parks.
I think so. I think did Unmatched have one last year too?
It might have, yeah.
Or something. Even though it was probably another base game of Unmatched.
Yes. I went with Parks Nightfall. Originally, I wasn't going to consider it. Or I originally remember hearing, I didn't think it was that well received. But as time has gone on, I feel like I've heard more and more good things. But it could be different Parks expansions that I've heard about. But I feel like I've heard some really good things about this. And I don't know. And Arnak is probably my other choice. Just because I have heard great things about that one as well. Kind of, I don't know, I guess leaders that you take out and give you, I assume, special abilities. So I would think if not counting Unmatched, because it is a base game,
right?
I would say any of those two could win. But I'll go with Parks.
Okay. Yeah, so then we get into the big bad boy.
Game of the Year.
So there's a few more nominees in this one.
Yes, and I remember last year, a game, Viscounts of the West Kingdom, did not get any other nominations, and then was nominated for this award.
But it sadly did not win.
It did not win. The nominees here are Ark Nova, Cascadia, Maglev Metro, Meadow, Mind Management, Hadrian's Wall, Merchant's Cove, Sleeping Gods, and Seven Wonders Architects. So all of these had nominations. I don't know why there's only 9 here. Let's add a 10th game.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was 10.
Yeah. What game can we throw Final Girl in there?
Was there supposed to be 10?
There were only 9 when I went to the website, and I found it very weird.
Yeah, I thought there, yeah, it could be. But yeah, I think these are probably all pretty solid games, the ones I've tried. I really think there's only 3 that could win this. How many do you think could win this? Only 1?
I think probably 3 as well.
I was thinking either Arc Nova, Cascadia, or Sleeping Gods.
I was thinking those 3 as well. Mind Management, I've heard a lot of hype. I don't think it has what it takes to win Game of the Year.
No.
Just depends whether they go something maybe a little more approachable, like a Wingspan type of thing for Cascadia. Although I thought that's what they do, and I switched my pick on the spot last year with Isle of Cats. I'm like, if any of these games is the Wingspan, it's Isle of Cats. Did not end up winning. So I don't think Cascadia is going to take it. And
I disagree. My pick is Cascadia.
Ooh, that is the Wingspan pick, I think.
It's tough though because I like you said, I have not played it, so I don't really know. I'm going based off of a lot of people seeming to like it and it seeming pretty approachable.
And people compare it to Calico. So that's one thing where I'm like, I don't know. Wow, he's going Cascadia. I can't believe it.
So I'm going to go for it.
You're going against Arc Nova? Your hat? Zach,
it's tough. I should go for it, but I don't know. I don't know. I think people are going to say Cascadia is their favorite, even if they're wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to go with Sleeping Gods. I just...
I might have to go with Arc Nova just to take you on.
They call it his magnum opus. There's just so much hype around this game.
That's true.
I can't...
And the fact that he already has game founded or whatever, another Sleeping Gods
standalone
campaign.
Will be nominated for expansion and Game of the Year next year.
Boy. That man never sleeps.
No, he's like, I'm going to take a break after this.
I think he did take a break, and then I don't know that it's all written or whatever yet and whatnot, but that's just it's really incredible.
I mean, it's crazy that, even if it's not written, that's almost more unbelievable because then he's committing to writing all that by the time it would deliver.
And when I first heard it, I was like, an expansion for it. But no, standalone game trying to fix his magnum opus. I think he's making some slight changes to a few things. It's not like the combat system and possibly some other things. So, it'll be interesting to see how well that one's received once it does eventually make its way across the pond.
Yeah.
But
so I ended up giving Sleeping Gods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins here.
Wow, out of how many?
Out of 15, I believe. So a third of these categories, I think they are going to win.
Kind of incredible. I only have Sleeping Gods twice.
Nice.
I thought I would have it more because it's nominated for almost everything.
Yeah, Arc
including
Nova
Best Welcoming Game.
Mind Management.
But no, those are our predictions of the Dice Tower Awards. If you watched us last year, Pepper ended up getting the most right.
Yes.
And we got a couple of the games that were, I don't remember which ones they were that were nominated in that.
Unmatched was one of them.
I think it was Unmatched.
I think
you're right.
because we had said loser buys a game for the winner. You ended up buying Unmatched because I had won, and I think I was pretty interested in that. And it ended up being one of your favorite games.
It did.
So it
I ended up being more interested in it. But so maybe we'll have to do that again. I don't know which game we'd have to get each other. I think if I lose this time, I know which one I'm going to get, assuming it's available.
Yes, we'll see. I think I have an idea too.
Oh boy. But hopefully you've liked what you saw. If you have, definitely give us a thumbs up. Otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to
keep on nibbling
on our content.